So another example I've heard you speak of is Kodak and digital photography. So again, how does that dramatize what you're talking about in terms of not being afraid of risk-taking and also the infrastructure of a company?
Yeah, there's a couple of things in the Kodak story, which is well known, but not just Kodak. There are many other examples that we can mention in a moment. But one of the problems with a successful business is that you have an innovation, and if it's not sustaining, it's something different, as digital cameras were, the risk you run is you take it to your mainstream customer. Another example is higher education. If you're a university and you're teaching students face-to-face, and along comes online education, which commoditizes the content of a university. So what do you do about that? Well, one tempting thing to do about that is to show it to your mainstream stakeholders or customers. However, the mainstream stakeholder is a customer of yours today because of what you're doing today. They've already made their choice. So when you present them with something different, they're probably not going to see the value in what you've done. When you ask them what to do, they're going to tell you to do more of what you are already doing. And that is exactly what happened with Kodak. They showed the digital camera to a professional photographer. Professional photographer wants resolution. The resolution of the first digital camera was less than a megapixel, and so automatically the professional photographer said that's not an attractive solution. We're not interested. So the problem with reframing innovation is it is either addressing a problem faced by customers that you don't have, or it's addressing a problem that you've not yet been able to find with your customers. And so if you are going to talk to your mainstream customers, one of the things you have to do is ask them a fundamentally different question. You don't ask them what to do to improve what already exists. You don't ask them how to make a better film. You have to stand back from the current product set and say, well, what are the overlooked or underserved problems and aspirations that you have as a customer that we're not currently addressing? And of course, if you'd done that at Kodak, you would have found that people would like, particularly bad photographers, would have liked to be able to take 100 photos without it costing them a lot of money, so that they could find the one good one and put it on their Facebook site and have their friends come along and say, wow, you're a great photographer. So if you are going to talk to your mainstream customers, you need to engage them in a fundamentally different dialogue. Not how to improve what we're already doing, but what are we not doing? What are the latent things that we haven't yet seen?
Or maybe it sounds like you're saying you have to step outside of your mainstream.
That's the other approach, of course. You step out of, if you want to find out what you're not doing, that you could be doing, you obviously talk to a non-customer. Somebody who's not a customer is not a customer for a reason. They don't see the value there.